and welcome to the news update on Enterprise Television. I'm Chinyere Igwe Odu. Let's begin the news from Zamfara State, where a senior commander of the Zamfara State Community Protection Guard, CPG, Aminu Sakin Baura, and one other unnamed official of the outfit were killed on Monday night while repelling an attack by terrorists on Safi town. Residents said the terrorists invaded the town, which is the headquarters of Safi local government area, around noon and kidnapped 14 road construction workers at their residence in Area 2. Residents said Sakin Baura and his team had joined soldiers in responding to a distress call on the attack. Residents said the terrorists fought back, burning 2 operational vehicles of the army and the state security guards. The terrorists had, upon entering the town, gone straight to the residence of the construction workers who were working on the Funtua Gasol Road and seized 14 of them. Governor Daudu Lawal, in a Facebook post, condoled with the families of the deceased persons, residents of Safi local government area and the state. Meanwhile, the Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Sokoto, Reverend Father Matthew Coker, has urged the federal government to interrogate individuals with claims of having close ties with bandits. He spoke against the backdrop of recent questioning of renowned cleric Sheikh Ahmed Gumi by security agencies over his comments on bandits. Coker also expressed worry over the spate of kidnappings across schools in the country, adding that the abduction could have a psychological effect on children. The cleric also raised questions about the federal government's failure to investigate individuals claiming close ties with bandits. The Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Heineken Lokbobiri, has once again expressed fear that the newly inaugurated Dangote Petrochemical Refinery, Port Harcourt Refinery, Warri Refinery, Kaduna Refinery, and modular refineries in the country may not get enough crude oil locally for the production of petroleum products without increase in production in the sector. Lokbobiri expressed this fear publicly for the 3rd time in the last 4 months at the 2024 sector retreat for the ministry held yesterday in Abuja with the theme, Building Synergy for Enhanced Development in the Oil and Gas Sector. The minister said the retreat was convened to discuss how to achieve the targets and mandates set for them by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the ministerial retreat held in November 2023. Lokbobiri had first raised the issue in November 2023 while responding to the questions asked by the State House correspondents at the end of a 3-day retreat at the Presidential Villa. In business, the CBN's Monetary Policy Committee, MPC, has increased the benchmark interest rate by 200 basis points from 22.75% to 24.755%. This was disclosed by the governor of the CBN, who doubles as the chairman of the MPC at the end of the 294 MPC meeting held in Abuja. Furthermore, the Apex Bank retained the cash reserve ratio, CRR, at 45%, unchanged from its last meeting, but increased the CRR of merchant banks from 10% to 14%, while retaining the liquidity ratio of 30%. The present monetary policy rate, MPR, of 24.75% is unusually high, reflecting the bank's strong commitment to tackling inflation and exchange rate fluctuations. While the 200 basis point hike is steep, it still doesn't surpass the substantial 400 basis point rise implemented by the bank in February. And the people of Senegal have chosen to break with the past by pinning their hope on presidential candidate Bassirou Diomaye Faye, a relatively unknown figure outside his opposition party until recently. Faye has managed an unlikely climb to the top. Everything changed for him when firebrand party leader Ousmane Sonko was convicted and barred from running in elections to succeed President Macky Sall. Faye, a former tax inspector, was arrested in April 2023 and charged with contempt of court and defaming magistrate. His arrest came a few months before his mentor was also held. When Sonko's candidacy and eligibility grew uncertain, several party members, including Faye, put their names forward. Faye eventually made the cut while still in prison. And finally, in sports, the Eagles of Mali beat the Super Eagles of Nigeria 2-0 on Tuesday night. In the clash with the Eagles, Nigeria suffered the loss, courtesy of 1 goal in each half of the game. El Bilal Toure gave Mali the lead in the 18th minute in the runners-up in the recently concluded African Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast. Could not severe a draw in the first half. Kamari Doumbia sealed the victory for the Malians with an 84th minute strike for the center of the box. And that's the news update this hour. Thanks so much for staying tuned. I'm Chinyere Igwe Odu.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.